Hello, smart people. How are you today? Today's episode is all about good news. I'm going to give you 5 reasons why this is the best time to be a non-technical founder. So if you have an idea for an app or a tech venture, but you're not a coder yourself, then this episode will be music to your ears. And 2 of these reasons actually give non-technical founders an advantage over the techies. So let's get started. Reason number 1 why this is the best time to be a non-technical founder. Investors have changed their tune. So not that long ago, the startup world basically really worshipped only hoodie-wearing coders who were preferably about 21. And if you didn't have a STEM degree, you were dismissed. But that is no longer the case. So there is a study by Cowboy Ventures, and they researched who was running unicorns, so who was running billion-dollar tech companies back in 2013. And they saw that back then, 90% of unicorn CEOs had technical degrees. Then they looked 10 years later, only 60% have technical degrees now, which means that today 40% are non-technical founders. And so that means that people with MBAs, people with humanities degrees, people with business backgrounds. And remember, a unicorn company is a company valued at over $1 billion. So the investment that founders are getting, that non-technical founders are getting, they're not small change. They're raising serious money. And that research was done in 2023. This was before the advent of AI and no-code tools really exploded. So I expect that this number is even more today. So investors have already, even before AI came on the scene, investors were already realizing that vision, commercial instincts, and sales ability were basically just as important, or frankly, more important than being able to code the product yourself. Often these skills are the difference between why a product becomes a company and one that basically just stays in a garage. So as I mentioned, AI no-code tools have really changed the game, and that's reason 2 for why this is the best time to be a non-technical founder. So basically, until recently, until ChatGPT really changed everything, if you had an idea for a tech product, your only option was really to hire a product team and pay them a lot of money before you knew if anybody really wanted the product. This was risky, expensive, and intimidating. And so I actually remember that when I first started my first tech company back in 2015, we paid about $35,000 to use experienced designers to build test versions of our product and get feedback from our target customers. So this is 35 grand basically before you really know if anybody wants it. It was scary. And today we teach at Tech for Non-Techies, we teach our students to build test products themselves using AI design tools. And most of our students just use the free version of these tools. Some of them splash out and spend $20. But $20 versus 35,000. It's amazing. So AI and no-code tools let you test your idea, they let you build a prototype and even get early traction, all without writing a single line of code. And actually, I want to tell you a story about one of my students. Her name is Noor. And she is an entrepreneur and she runs offline businesses in the sectors I love. So she has a florist and a chocolate shop. Amazing. And she had an idea for a tech product to help small businesses like hers take orders through Instagram because often, florist chocolate shops, they have large Instagram followings. And so when she took the Tech for Non-Technical Founders course, she had no tech background whatsoever. And so we taught her how to use AI to create a test version and to validate the concept of what she wanted to build. And then this thing that she created in our class, that helped her raise money from accelerators because it showed that she already had a proven thing. And because she raised money from accelerators, she could then use that money to hire developers. And so in under a year, so she took my class back in November, and I'm recording this for you in September of the following year. So in less than a year, she has gone from idea to product without blowing thousands on guesswork. I do want you to be careful about AI hype these days, because I am telling you that AI tools have really decrease the cost of experimentation. But it is very, very likely that you will have to hire professionals if you want to build a decent product. You will need to hire professionals at some point, but that point is now later than before, which means that by the time you hire the pros, you are going to know how to get the best return on your investment on working on them. And also, because you're basically hiring them later, you basically end up paying less, which is a good thing. And by the way, if you have an idea for a tech venture that you want to test out, I have created a free AI mini workshop for non-technical founders. So in this mini workshop, you'll learn how to go from just having an idea in your head to having a test product, all using AI tools. And this is a short class. It's not super long. It's about basically less than half an hour. And you'll also get a guide on our key AI framework that you can keep and download. So this mini workshop is free. So just go to techfornontechies.ca/AI class and put your email and get the class, or just go to the link in the show notes and you'll get it. I think this is where non-technical founders really have the edge over technical founders. So the fifth reason for why this is the best time to be a non-technical founder is that distribution is everything, and non-technical founders tend to be better at it. So I'll show you what I mean. So one of the most overlooked parts of creating a successful startup is not the tech, it's getting people to use it. Because having the best product in the world does not matter if nobody knows about it. But if you already have an audience, or if you have credibility, basically your startup is already 10 steps ahead. So, for example, if you're making a consumer app, you will usually be spending a lot of money on Facebook and Google ads because advertising is basically how most apps grow, and it's really, really expensive. But if you already have credibility with the market, or if you already have a lot of people who want your stuff, you don't have to pay Mark Zuckerberg. Wouldn't that be wonderful? So here's an example. There is a fitness influencer called Kyla Itsines. I think I'm saying her name right, but she has created this app called Sweat. It was originally called Sweat with Kyla, but her fitness empire is now worth $400 million, which is not bad for a fitness influencer, right? So the way she started was that she was basically creating fitness videos on Instagram. I believe she was also creating like diet videos on Instagram. Then her following grew. She had millions and millions of users. She had millions of followers rather on Instagram. And then when she amassed these loyal followers, she launched an app. So she didn't need to pay Instagram. She didn't need to pay Facebook right from the start. Yes, she's doing advertising now, but her product is now, really successful. So you might be thinking, okay, well, are you telling me that I need to amass millions of followers first? You don't have to. Let me tell you about my student, Musi Skosana. So Musi, he worked in banking and then he created a fund. So he was running his own fund. He was a fund manager, running his asset management business for a few years. And then he decided to expand his market share and add a fintech app. So basically, investors could invest and trade on his fintech app. And yes, he did not have millions of followers. He still doesn't. But you know what he had? He had trust and credibility and reputation in the marketplace. And so when the app launched, early adopters came on board quickly. Yes, they needed to be told about it, but once they learned about it, they were like, okay, this guy, this company, they know what they're talking about because they've already been successful in the offline world. So now that they're offering a tech product, yeah, I'm going to trust them. So this is distribution power. And this is generally, I find, where non-technical founders really outshine technical ones. So the good news is that you do not need to be the best coder. You don't even need to be the worst coder. You don't need to be a coder at all. You need to get people to care about your product, and then you can use AI and hire the right people to help you create your vision.